Well, first of all, thank you for taking part and for your time to do this, because I really do appreciate it. And I know it's likely to be a bit rough around the edges because it's my first time at doing anything like this, second time at doing anything like this. But we're going to go with it and learn as we go along, and hopefully the second of many more to come, because you're not allowed just one. You can have more than just one. So thank you very much. So first of all, if you would like to introduce yourself. We know you as Angelita, the Wellbeing Lady. So I'll let you take it from there.
So, introduce myself. So I am Angelita Woosnam, the Wellbeing Lady. I'll say took that name. That name sort of developed out of events that I was running for 10 years, which sounds a very long time, up to just about this time last year. And I quite like the sound of it, so I thought yes. So I'm the Wellbeing Lady. I've been a therapist for probably the best part of 20 years. Started off with physical therapies, so massage, reflexology, hands-on, touchy-feely stuff. And then I say progressed because it feels like a progression to me, into energy work, energy therapies. So Reiki I started with, and then some other energy things, and then I trained in EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, and something called matrix re-imprinting, which is a development of EFT. And then I've gone on to learn other energy techniques from other places with other groups. Anything that catches my eye or catches my what's the word? Attention. That's the word. Not that I've got any this morning. Yes, catches my attention. I think, oh, that looks interesting. Oh, that looks exciting. I'll go and do that. So I work as a therapist with my own practice. This room that I'm sitting in at the moment, it was my therapy room and will be my therapy room again. And I also work with the local community interest company, a CIC. We're called Recharge and Restore. And we've been out this morning delivering our Easter activity boxes to 2 primary schools in Runcorn, and we're looking forward to the feedback when they open their boxes and do their Easter egg hunt and all the other activities in there. So
That's fabulous. So you mentioned Recharge and Restore, and I know you've got lots of stuff going on with your 12-week moving forward thing. Is that something you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I'd love to. We'd love to, because we actually have capacity and space. We want to run another group. It's funding we received from, I always get this wrong, I thought it was European social funding, but I think it's education skills and something else. Working with the WEA, so the Workers' Educational Association. And we received some funding to run 2 groups in Halton for people who are unemployed or economically inactive and living in Halton, and you have to be over 18 or 19, I think it is. And we've developed a 12-week programme. We call it a holistic programme because myself and my colleague Eileen, we're both holistic therapists. We can't work any other way. We couldn't just deliver stuff and go, there you go, off you trot. So this 12-week programme is quite unique. I don't think I've ever seen another one like it, and that's not just blowing our own trumpet. We've taken people, we're halfway through the first group. It's about improving self-esteem, confidence, and the big thing that the people who are taking part in the first one have all commented on is motivation. They feel more motivated. They look forward to Tuesday mornings. They're a lovely group. They all get on very well. We've got a number of people who are carers, either caring for a husband or a partner, or a couple of the mums are caring for autistic young people. So there are lots of similarities and also lots of differences, which makes it a really nice and interesting group. So we've done a number of things. We've got 4 or 5 more weeks to go, but as I say, we've got funding to enable us to run another group. So we're looking for 15 or 20 people who fit those criteria to do another group. We have to have it completed, I think, by July. I think that's the extension that we've got. And the extensions have come about because of the extenuating circumstances that we're living under at the moment, because I think people are finding it difficult to be motivated to actually go, oh, that looks interesting, I'll take part in that. You know, so many people have said it's like, excuse me, Groundhog Day. What day is it? Where am I? Is it Tuesday? Is it Thursday? Do I put the bins out today? All of these things. And, you know, I'm as, I'll say guilty, I'm as affected as anybody else. You know, there are some days I think, have I got any meetings today? Where's my diary? What have I got to do? Because it does feel very, very strange. Because, you know, like a lot of people before this situation started last year, I was one of the busiest people I knew, and you know, I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be like, right, I've got a meeting here at 10 o'clock, and I'd go there and I'd come back and have some clients here, then I'd go off and do something else. And it was this constant rushing round, which I don't miss the mad rushing round, I must admit, and I don't think my car does either. But I do miss people. I miss the face-to-face, one-on-one interaction with people. Yes, having a beautiful laptop, which also has been paid for with funding, thank you very much, and being able to hold Zoom, you know, Zoom groups, Zoom workshops. I do meditations online, all kinds of things. It's been fab, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't replace people. It doesn't replace being in a room with people. So Recharge and Restore, we've been in existence for 4 years this year. Yeah, June or July, I think we started. And to be absolutely honest, I'm very, very grateful. We've had more funding in the last 12 months than we've had in the entire time that we've been a CIC. And a lot of that has come about because of the emergency funding that was available last year. And it's made us think outside the box, or even create a new box, a whole new box. We're doing things that we wouldn't have done before. We just wouldn't have thought about it because we were too busy being therapists and delivering therapies and you know, working with people that way. So even the holiday activity fund, we wouldn't have thought of doing that. We wouldn't have thought that that's something that either we could do, or you know, we could put what we do in that, if that makes any sense. And through the local VCA, the Voluntary Community Association, they've got a longer name that I always get confused. I'm not going to mess that up. Who look after and help and support all the voluntary and community associations and organisations in Halton. They're absolutely fab. They ran meetings. I think they were every week at first. Then they went to fortnightly, and we're just about to go back to monthly. But there was a lot of support, a lot of partnership working, which was really missing in Halton, which has been really, really good for all of us. Plus, we got to know about all the funding that was available.
Yeah.
You know, people got on, like last year, it was probably, I'm trying to think of the sort of time scale of it. It was probably end of June, July, I think, that somebody came on from Essential, which is the company that manages the funding for the Holiday Activity Fund. And said, you know, we're looking for some more people who want to do some work, and the closing date's next Tuesday, and this was Friday. So like, oh! But long story short, we applied. We don't, part of that remit is food, but I said, well, we don't do food. You know, we're not going to supply food, but we supplied Wellbeing Boxes, Wellbeing activities, which went down really, really well. So we're doing that again. And they're moving forward, as I say, so we are quite busy, which is nice.
Busy. And going back to Wellbeing Boxes, I know you gifted me a Wellbeing box, and it was absolutely amazing. It was fabulous, and I think what came from that box was just it wasn't just a key ring and a and a twiddle tie. And I'm not saying that to be, you know, sort of put down anybody else that are doing them. It was just that it was so different, and it was so bloody useful. It was. I loved your card as well with your reflexology, and you sent me a video as well, which reminded me to go back to do
go
that,
back and do it again.
and it was like, wow, it was really good.
Well, as I say, because we're therapists and we're used to working with, you know, such a wide variety of individuals and known people, it was for us, it was, what can we put in that's going to be useful for people? And right from the very first project that we did, which was probably now end of May, June last year, the feedback we got from people when they even just opened the envelopes and went, oh, this smells gorgeous, before they even knew what was in it, because we've created these lavender eye pillows. I should have got some actually to show you. Lavender eye pillows which smell gorgeous anyway. And then, as you say, the relaxation technique, we included some mindful colouring, and then there were other bits and pieces in there as well. So it was a really, really good goodie bag. It was a really nice pack.
It was a very practical box.
Very practical, very practical. Plus, at the time, you know, we just started all the lockdown, all the restrictions, and people weren't going out and doing different things. And it was just, people said it was nice to get something in the post.
Yeah.
With their name on.
With their name on, And it was fabulous, and it smelled gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've touched a little on the issues that we've had, that everybody's had over the last year, and one of the things that has come from the mess that we're still going through and coming out of is the need for small business owners to suddenly become unbelievably creative. I mean, you've like you just said, you've made your own box. You weren't even thinking outside of a box. We've made a totally different box. I mean, is that a skill, an experience that you're going to use going forward? Are you going to be more willing to try new things? Is it something that has almost taken away a barrier of what should happen?
Absolutely. And that's a really good way of describing it, because I think that happened, again, going back to the VCA, who, you know, they're our sort of support, if you like, you know, going to the meetings and listen to other people also doing things that they wouldn't have considered before, you know, because we could have said, oh, well, I can still speak. I don't know if you can still hear me. You probably can't. I do speak with my hands. Apologies for that.
So do I.
People, you know, we could have said, oh, well, we're just therapists, and, you know, we do therapies, and we can't do them now, so, oh dear, what are we going to do? And it was out of conversations with, I think it was actually Anne-Marie Lawrenson from the VCA, because we looked at the funding and thought, well, how can we do this? What can we put in it? You know, because we can't actually go and see people. And our initial idea, and I can't even remember what it was now, because it's obviously just gone. And she said, somebody's doing some wellbeing packs. She said, I've seen somebody doing something. She said, why don't you think about doing something like that? So we went, oh, okay, we will. And then, of course, we went off and created what we delivered. And it has given us that, well, we've done that now. You know, 18 months ago, we wouldn't have considered that was something that we could do. So we've done that. What else can we do? You know, we've done wellbeing packs for people at home. We've done wellbeing boxes for children. And that was such a lovely activity last year, because Eileen, who I work with, she actually did most of the thinking about what to put in the boxes. And at the end of it, we both said, oh, that's really good, because, you know, we reintroduced for children who, you know, they might not have ever played hopscotch. And for somebody of a certain age, you know, hopscotch, all you need is a piece of chalk.
Yeah.
And, you know, some paving slabs or a bit of concrete or whatever. You know, children today possibly won't have played that. So we reintroduced some of the old games that are easy to do with no devices, no tablets, no Wi-Fi needed, you know. So we had skipping, we had hopscotch, as I say, and one of the lovely things, and this is very silly and very, very inner childish, I don't know what they're called. Number puzzles, I think they call them, but they're like little tiny squares, the ones we got, and there's like nine. Was it nine? Nine little slidey things.
Oh
And you have
yeah,
what
and you sit
gap?
there and
Yeah.
yeah,
And you have to get them in the right order.
yeah.
Hours yeah, just probably frustration too, but hours of just, keeping them occupied and helping their brains to work in a different way. So yeah, we really enjoyed that. We sent them outside. They went outside into nature and found bits to make a picture, so bits of stick and flowers. And some of the pictures, we didn't share them all, obviously, because of, they contained images of children, but where we could. And some of the pictures that these children created were they were works of art. They really were. So in the boxes that have just gone out now, one of the activities is to create an Easter picture, again with your family. So, finding bits of stick or whatever you're going to use to make your picture up. Anything, well, we think, this situation, as you said, has affected absolutely everybody. There's nobody who can say, oh, I'm not bothered, it doesn't affect me, I'm just living my life the way I was before. It's affected all of us, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we're very aware of, and I'm certainly aware of, is the mental health repercussions of all of this going forward. It's massive. And I think it's already massive. I think it's already having an impact and effect on, certainly on children and young people. And then, rippling out to families, to parents struggling, to grandparents not being able to see children. You could just write a big long list.
The knock-on effect has just been, it's been horrific for many people, and it's going to take years and years and years to recover from that. And it's hard to even, even going back, to last year when it was all starting to kick off, you couldn't have envisioned the impact that it has had.
No.
So,
well, I'm lucky enough that my grandchildren, all but the littlest one, all live locally. My littlest grandson at the time was actually living here with me and his mum. And I've seen the effect that not being able to go to school has had, not being able to play football for my grandson, not being able to see their friends. All of that has changed their behaviours. And, for a time, made them quite insular, made them quite, I don't want to go out. I can't go out. I don't want to go out now. And I do remember being in a supermarket. I think it was Aldi, not a big supermarket. And in front of me, when things did start to ease just before the summer last year, and there were these two lovely young girls in front of me, obviously with their mum or somebody, and in their shorts, because it was quite a warm day. And I heard the ladies behind me were talking about them and said, look at the state of them. She said, they haven't been out for weeks and weeks and weeks. They've got legs like milk bottles. And I thought, oh. But they hadn't been out. They just hadn't. They'd spent all the time in their bedrooms because, on their phones or on, Xboxes or PlayStations or whatever the device of choice is. And that's their communication. And, as somebody who grew up, and my children grew up playing outside.
Yeah.
We still talk about it now. Summer holidays, they'd be gone. Breakfast, and then there was a whole little gang of them where we lived. There was 10 of them all together. I had 3, somebody else had 2, and they all had to look after each other, and they would just go out.
Yeah.
From 10 o'clock, and they might come back for lunch if they were starving, but if they weren't, they didn't come back. Or if somebody fell out of a tree that they weren't supposed to be in, they'd come back. But they'd be out all day, playing, getting dirty, just doing whatever children did. And, the complete flip to now, they're inside all the time.
And it's hard. So now we're coming out of the strict restrictions, you know, rightly or wrongly. I know my personal feelings on it all is just
Me
makes me
too.
go.
Yeah.
But what's for you and for Recharge and Restore? What's the vision going forward? Because the likelihood is that, you know, we'll get someone out of it, and they'll be looking at restricting again come winter, because you know, we'll be all with some virus or another. So yeah. So I mean, have you thought that far on? Because it's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
It is. To be honest, I haven't, or we haven't. You know, we're working one project at a time.
Yeah.
Because there's anybody who relies on funding for, you know, a greater or lesser proportion of their income, we know how fickle it can be. And as I said before, you know, we're so grateful to have been helped and supported in the funding bids that we've made. And the external funding team, one person in particular at Halton Borough Council, amazing. If you are a voluntary organisation, if you've got a funding bid, get in touch with them. They will make your ideas come to life on paper. But yeah, so with their help, we've managed to secure a lot of the funding that we've had. We've just got notice actually that we've got some funding from Halton Borough Council that we've applied for in January. We thought we'd been unsuccessful, but we've been successful.
Okay.
So we're going to be So we're going to be doing another Wellbeing Pack project. This time designed for refugees and asylum seekers.
Wow.
I know, which is another box to jump into, because, you know, as we know, there is quite a sizable community in Halton. Sorry, I've just got things popping up on the screen. A sizable community in Halton who could do with some help and support. So that's one thing that we're going to be working with, and we're working with another charity who are going to help us with some translation for people, obviously for whom English isn't their first language. But going forward, how long is a piece of string? How long is all this funding going to last? And we know that, you know, we can't rely on that forever. It's just not going to be there forever. So we've created our Wellbeing Packs, which is a resource that we can offer and sell. Our eye pillows, our lap pads we created for the last year's project for children. We can also scale them up for adults and dogs.
And
your
dogs.
Picture that you sent me at Christmas.
I got my daughter and her partner a lap pad from you for Christmas, and I just got this picture back saying Daisy to Jack Russell. Yeah. So I thought, there's another box, you know.
There's another market there. Plus our 12-week project that we're just over halfway through now. I think we've done week 7. That also is something that we can package, maybe take out some of the bits that we that wouldn't be applicable for something that we're going to sell. Yeah. Because it's a funded project, we've got to, you know, get feedback and all kinds of other things for the funders for now. But if we were going to package that and sell to organisations, we can do that. What else can we do? And hopefully, we are hoping that we can actually get back to offering face-to-face sessions and or treatments, therapies, you know, working with others, maybe bringing in some other volunteers, because we know so many fabulous therapists, you know, through our own work as individual therapists before, and also with the Wellbeing Days, we've got lots of people who I'm sure, you know, waiting in the wings would love to come and work with us.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, do you know what, Angelita? Once again, we've hit half an hour, and
oh God,
I've not even touched, not even. So if we call it there, is there anything that you want to raise? Is there anything that you want to? Because it's your business spotlight. So is there anything that you've not covered that you want to cover?
What else do I want to say? Recharge and Restore, we've got our Facebook page. We now have a beautiful website, so all our information is on there, being updated. Yeah, please get in touch if you're interested in any of our programs or just wanting to know what we do. We're very happy to work with other voluntary organisations and community organisations, because we can all offer something together. There's lots that we can offer. And as me, the Wellbeing Lady, I do at the moment a Wednesday wind down, which is a relaxation session. It's not long, it's about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, if that, at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday. Again, you can find me on Facebook. I need to do some more twittering about it or tweeting about it, but I always forget. Yeah, I need to sort that out. Yeah, and it's just a nice way to, I was going to say mark the middle of the week, but I don't even know if that's applicable anymore, just to help you to get through your week. You know, the more that we can reset our nervous system, the more that we can allow ourselves just to switch off completely, because we very rarely do that.
It's a fabulous session. Yeah, I really enjoy it, and usually end up nodding off.
Yeah, nodding off is fine. And people are often, you know, I get messages afterwards, oh, I'm so sorry I fell asleep. It's like, that was the intention. The intention was for you to switch off, stop thinking, stop worrying, stop, and just, if you need to sleep, sleep. So yeah.
Well, I'll put all of the contact information in the transcript and the notes as well, so people can get in touch. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go and fathom how to do some video editing now.
Good luck with that one.
So thank you very much, Angelita.
You're very welcome.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
And thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.